Hello VC, this is Mike from TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks doing another contest entry. This time around the contest is for the channel Robert's on My Turntable. And for this particular contest you do have to be a subscriber to his channel, which is easy enough to do. Robert's on My Turntable is a great channel who has a lot of great content. Pretty much most people know who he is in the vinyl community, at least the ones that have been around for a while. He loves his coffee, of course. Everybody knows that. And he always has some great vinyl finds that he likes to show off. And not only does he show them, though, he talks in depth about all of the bands. Everything he does is quite well researched. And you find out a lot of information whenever he presents his material. Also, he does a lot of spotlights on certain bands, some you may not have heard of or that you were wondering about but you haven't quite taken the plunge on. Go check out his channel, really good channel. He's fun to watch and quite easygoing and pleasant personality. On his particular contest, what he wants us to do is make a 10-minute or less video about some unique band you need to listen to. So take a band, not one of the typical ones that everybody knows, but one that doesn't get talked about so much in the vinyl community. The deadline for this is October 7th, and so there's still plenty of time to make your video. And the prize is a $30 gift card, so everybody could use a gift card from Amazon to pick up their favorite records. Always a great prize. So I was kind of up in the air which band to pick, and I had two of them. One of them is Sonia Dada, which is a band that I really love, but I don't have any vinyl from them. All I've got are CDs. I don't think any of their material was released on vinyl. So I decided to go with a band that I actually have some vinyl for, and that band that I picked is the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Now, I consider the Ozark Mountain Daredevils the original one of the original Americana bands out there. They were playing Americana before a term was even coined for it. So back in the day, they were known as country rock. But I don't think their music is quite heavy enough to be considered country rock. I would consider it more of an Americana sound, as there is a lot of fiddles, a lot of banjo, a lot of traditional folk, American folk instruments in the band, and that's what makes them unique for me. When I first heard of them, I thought they were a little too country to be considered rock, but for some reason my sister bought this album and played it a lot, and I just couldn't help but fall in love with it. And after you hear it a few times, you'll know why. This is probably their best album. It is their debut album, released in 1973, and it went all the way up to 26 on the US Billboard charts. So their debut album, this is known as the Quilt album. You can see here by the back here, at this time there were 11 members in the band, so quite a large band. And the single that came off of this was the song If You Want to Get to Heaven. However, a lot of people also know, and it's also a concert favorite, the song Chicken Train. Some really great fun and up-tempo songs on this, but there's also some more laid-back ones. The beautiful Colorado song. Road to Glory is another amazing song. Just all around great album. Not a bad track on this at all. So I spent a lot of time talking about that particular album. That's my favorite of all of theirs, but they also had some other great albums. In 1974, the next year, they released the album It Will Shine When It Shines. This was also a fairly big seller. It got up to 19 on the US charts. Um, and the song Jackie Blue was also on this album, another big hit for them. After that, they kind of fell out of the public eye for some reason. I guess people felt their music was a little too country sounding. Um, to me, it's very authentic sounding. I really love their music. The next album they came out with was the Car Over the Lake album. Also a great album, probably my favorite out of all of theirs. And then in 1976, the album Men from Earth. Another great album. Now this is the last one that I currently have in my collection. You see now the band is down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 individuals, so it's a little more manageable now. But the music is still really great. Some of it goes somewhat into the rock territory, but most of it stays very fun Americana sound. After that, they released another great album called Don't Look Down in 1977. In 1980, they released another self-titled album called Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Now, I don't have copies of any of these, unfortunately. And after 1980, it wasn't until 1997 that they released the album called 13. They veered away a little more towards more rock pop genre. And we're only down to 4 members at that time, but managed to still put out a fairly good album. And then in 2018, they released the album Off the Beaten Path. I don't know much about that album. I haven't heard it. It's one of those that I probably need to look up. But I can tell you for sure that if you love Americana, you love that early folk sound with a lot of traditional instruments in it and music that's a lot of fun, then that's the band you need to look for. It doesn't get enough love here in the vinyl community, and I don't know why. I think their debut album is probably one that should be considered necessary in anybody's record collection. All right, so that does it for this contest entry. Make sure you check out Robert's On My Turntables channel. He is Canadian, and I really love his content. He made me feel welcome into the vinyl community when I first joined, also being Canadian or living in Canada. I'm actually a permanent resident from the States, but anyway, hoping someday to be able to become a citizen or a dual citizen. So anyway, thank you for watching, and check out his channel, and we'll talk to you all later.